Hey everybody, it's me, Mama D. Conversation with friend. As you can see, my adorable guest, Gina. This is the only thing I heard about this. I keep forgetting which way I'm going. It's like, okay, over there. You're actually on that side of me, and my friend, but you're on this side.
Opposite world.
Now, I don't know if you can see the chat. I don't think you can see the chat when you're on the phone. So if there's any interesting questions or comments, I will pop them up on the screen here. But for the moment, nobody's even coming in to see us yet. But there is a delay to start. So,
right. But I'm on your page, right? So I'm on your page on Facebook. It should pop up that you're live, right?
There we go. It's just starting now. There you go. So just started now, according to my Facebook page.
Let me refresh.
That's it.
Good morning.
Me, Mama D. Make sure my volume is off. There we go. We have one person watching. Because see, at least this way you can see who's watching, because it shows you who's watching down below. We got 2 people watching. Yeehaw. Hey Tracy, how's it going? Okay, so let's see. Gina is a good Lord. She does everything.
First and foremost, paranormal investigator.
Exactly. Here we go. We see if this one worked. There we go. Here you go. I have her down as Gina Bengtson, paranormal investigator, cast member of Ghost Detectives, and co-founder of Ghostly Excursions.
Right.
And you also do you work with your partner, Bob, the cutie who sits in the back of in the back, putting things together, having the phone fall down so nobody can see anything but the ceiling. This was yesterday. If anybody's watching, who knows what it is. Look, Sharon's in the chat room, and so is Tracy. Thank you. Glad the sound is good.
I can't see.
And I will tell you. Well, if you go to your phone, you should be able to, or you on my page, you should be able to see it.
Yeah, well, that's what I had it on your page. But anyway, yeah. So I'm with Mama D.
For those of you who don't know you,
we look a lot better now than we did yesterday. She's been trying to help me with my show, The Fox Den, to get this up and running so that I could have this split screen thing going on. And of course, tech savvy and me, that's where Bob comes in. I'm the decorator of the duo. So we build paranormal equipment, and we do these ghost boxes. So I decorate the boxes, make them gorgeous, like this one.
It's so pretty. Look at that. Exactly. What is a ghost? What does a ghost box do?
It's actually an Arduino-based computer that's inside, and there are 2 buttons. It's called the Easy Scan because it's kind of like when investigators investigate. You see the SB7s, you see them on TV all the time. Zach's used them. Everybody uses them. SB7, right? It's like it scans through the waves. It scans through the radio waves really fast, and you can set the speeds. But it's kind of difficult when you want to set it up. Where investigators were in the dark all the time, So speaker, you got the wire that got to go into the SB7. When you're old and blind, you got to put on glasses, and then you got a flashlight in your mouth, and you're trying to see the tiny little buttons to do reverse or forward or whatever speed you want it on, 150, 100, 250, all that kind of stuff. So it's really difficult to do in the dark, So I said to Bob, who's the electronic genius of the family, can you make something easy for me? Because this drives me crazy. So he came up with this, and how you turn this on is so simple, right?
The little red button?
Backwards, right? You got to turn backwards. All right, there's one knob here. This is volume. You got to turn that on and push this button. And that's it. That's it. Put it right here. Let's push speeds.
I was listening to a guy earlier on. Hey, Jamie. On something, and he had one of those type of little things, but a little box, and I'm guessing it was scanning through radio stations because you can hear voices, but question he asked, I mean, I don't normally hear anything but all the time. But
Well,
the question he asked was getting some responses. But I was like, I'm like I said, I'm not a techie person in that respect. But it was interesting. So if you make it in a big box, it's not this, because this guy had something that was just a little bit bigger than a cell phone.
That's the SB7. So yeah, that's the tiny little box, and you got to stick the speaker in it and everything. It's difficult to use. So this is easy because you can do it in the dark, real simple, and you can feel the 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the speeds, and that you can go one slower to faster. Why you do that is because where you are, and who you're talking to. If you're in a prison, right? They talk real fast, they're all like, yo, man, blah, 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 right?
Yeah.
Right. So you would want it on a faster speed. If you're in, say, an asylum where pretty much everybody is drugged up and talking really slowly, you want it on a slower speed or you're not going to understand what they're saying, So it's know your audience, know your equipment. That's our biggest thing, It's,
that makes sense.
Well, yeah. And why we use our equipment is for specific reasons.
Yeah.
You have a recorder so that you can get EVPs, okay? So you can hear things that you don't hear with your ears. And you have night vision because we can't see it with our eyes. You have infrared because
what is that thing? I don't know what it's called. Let's see, I'm really technically here, right? That makes the spirit or the entity look like a stick figure.
Oh, that's the SLS camera. That's a mapping device. Yeah, that's that you have to have a tablet, and then it's a camera. It's actually used for gaming. The camera itself. So it's meant to pick out human type figures. So if it picks up something, it's gonna try to assign it a human shape. So sometimes it's good, and sometimes it's kind of it could be mapping because it's its job and it's not an accurate thing. But if you ask it to raise its hand, dance, sit, squat, whatever, and it does,
then it's actually got a
like I had the best time I ever had with one of those was at Haldeman Mansion, actually. And I had this thing giving me hugs and shaking my hand and everything else. Yeah, it was really cool.
Used for dance and Xbox, Sharon says.
Yeah. All right, now I can see us on the computer. However, I can't see the comments. I don't know why.
There we go. Sharon says it's used for dance. Oh, Sharon, hope you realize you're now online. I love how I just saw the one. Oops, there we go.
We're live, Sharon. We're live, and we're looking a lot better.
And Katie Woolard, Stafford says you have to have a good mount for that device, and it can glitch out. I'm guessing she's talking about the little contraption thing with Digger.
Yes, it definitely can glitch, for sure. Yeah, you have it's almost like a trigger that you hold, and it's like a tray, and it's got the pad is on there, and then it's like this long, narrow device that shoots out a billion little beams of light, and it will flood the room with light, almost like a laser beam will flood it, and that's what picks up all the things.
Stephen Mills says, I have an SLS system, but after deeper research, I have lost faith in it.
Well, that's the thing. It's any piece of equipment, all right? Any piece, you can lose faith. You know what I lost faith in the most was a REM pod. I do not like REM pods, not my favorite piece of equipment. Actually, my very least favorite piece of equipment. I won't use it because it can go off with, we use walkie-talkies all the time. It's it's kind of like the same kind of a thing like this, all right?
Oh, puppy.
That's like a REM pod mode, all right? On that. That's a problem.
Bring Foxy back. For those people who don't know, please explain who and what Foxy is.
Yeah, this is a trigger prop box, but the only box made. We make at Vortex Ghost Gear. So it's www.vortexghostgear.com. We make all these pieces of equipment, but we make trigger prop dogs and cats, and this is the only box, so you can't get a fox. But it goes
that deserves it.
It's a proximity meter. But the REM pod, though, all right, that's what it kind of almost the same like lines as it sounds like that, but it's a proximity thing. But it gets set off with walkie-talkies, with phones, with a lot of different things. And when you're investigating and you have a big crew and you're in like a huge asylum or a huge jail or just a big mansion, you're going to be using walkie-talkies to talk to your team.
Yeah.
So, the REM pod goes off. You have to actually physically go all the way over to the REM pod to turn it off, to reset it. It won't just by itself. So I don't like them. But for proximity, I mean, I like the dogs and cats because a lot of spirits, kids will want to play with the dogs and cats. Grandma will want her favorite cat. Grandpa will want the dog. You know what I mean? Vice versa, whatever. Soldiers want their beagles out in the fields. Like I had that fox out in the field down in Gettysburg, and it was going off.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, at David Stewart Farm. So, yeah, that's pretty cool.
Now you showed me. I'm trying to go back to the chats here. I keep forgetting. You showed me something else earlier. It's a pad that you put belt. You said you put belt buckles on.
HTO. Well, you see that. All right. Well, first of all, you see that blue light behind me?
Okay.
That going off right there?
Right.
There is a what do you call it? Geophone. This is for vibration, so you can get footsteps or anything like that. This is a static. This is for manifestation.
I like that one because that's purple.
Yeah, let me see if I have to turn my thing this way. Okay, this was just using Ghost Nation on TV. All right. You can put there's a metal tray.
Okay.
And there's a clip. This clip goes into the HTO on the top. Okay, and then you set it so that it goes off. Right. It's a big field. All right, that goes around this. So it's trigger prop things. So whatever you put in the metal tray and you want it to touch it, you say, go touch the bottle of booze that's on the tray, because you could be at a bar. So you can put a bottle of booze on this and they can touch it and that will go off, right? Or you can you can hook this metal thing to anything metal itself. And what I was trying to say to Mama D before the show was, and it turns on and off.
Just a quick one. Thank you, Sharon. I'm gonna have her. She's dropping in the links. There we go.
Okay. But I was telling Mama D, like if you had that down in Gettysburg and you put on like in the battlefields or whatnot, and you had a Confederate belt buckle and a Union belt buckle, and you can hook it one up to each and say Union or Confederate, and it will touch it. You can also use that as a yes/no device too, because you can just hook up the tray and say, hit it once for yes and twice for no. So you can have a conversation.
They touch the whatever's on the plate, and the lights light up. If it's once, it just light up, and if it's twice, it's like double blinks.
Right. So you can have conversations that way. So there's a piece of equipment for every sense. For vision, for proximity, for static, which is like a manifestation, EMF, right? Well, electromagnetic, right? So you have all those, the REM pods and the K2s and things like that. So
now Bob's gonna have to figure out something to go for smell.
I know. Well, we were talking about cold and hot spot things, So we have a thing that we bought called the Crosshairs, which is really cool, and a lot of times we're out investigating and someone says, oh, it's cold here. I feel cold. I feel hot. Well, this device will actually show that, and it will turn red if it's hot and blue if it's cold and tell you what direction it's coming from, which is kind of cool. So it's like a big X, and it's something's coming in from there. This will go, and it'll have like a red line, blue line. Yeah, so it's really kind of neat.
That's cool because you do. I mean, I do see like I don't get to watch too many because for some reason we don't get them up here. I have to watch them on YouTube. It's the ghost adventuring thingy shows, the investigation shows, and you will see where it's like, oh my god, I'm getting this cold energy. So that thing would help.
Yeah, you could actually kind of pinpoint that better. I'm actually trying to mess with my lights over here because my computer just blinked the way out. I don't know what the hell happened to it. So I just shut off
Oh
Facebook on
no! It's like,
yeah.
oh, wait a minute, hold on. Eric's in the chat room. Teddy, go away. Eric is a friend of mine who has a spirit guide who likes to play around with the electricity.
Oh yeah.
And he just came into the room and said, "Hi, spiritual peeps," just before
So
you said
checked out
something. So
my
that could possibly be Teddy if he's into his, because he's coming on my show in March, the 1st of March, the Ides of March. Figures.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. I'm not watching.
It's gonna be fun.
I like my electronics. I'll watch it later.
No. It's fun. Yeah. Teddy calls it electrickery. No, it's a fun show. He's hysterical.
I do. I like that. That's awesome.
Great. My phone just listened to something I said. What does Gina think about flashlights for yes or no answers from a ghost?
I don't like it. I don't. I never have. You know, the things can heat up and they can turn it on and then cool down and shut off. You know what I mean? It's like between heating up and cooling down and expansion and stuff, you can get false positives. I'm just not a fan. You know, a lot of people use it. A lot of people, you know, hey, if it has worked for you, if you're good at it, you know what I mean, you have at it. You know, but just me personally, don't like it.
And that's for people who are just starting out and can't get all the extra bells and whistles. There's certain things that you can use to start, like a flashlight and an actual. I have a cassette recorder. I just got to get the cassettes to go in.
Recorders are actually really the best. I mean, the old tapes. Oh my god, I have one. I have a bunch. I mean, I like my Sony. I like the digital because we can put it on the, you know, on our apps that we use to look for EVPs and stuff easy. But you know, the old cassette recorders, they were awesome.
Yeah, awesome. I found one. We're actually unpacking a box that when we moved here like 10 years ago, there's certain boxes that didn't get unpacked. And we were going through, my husband said, "What the hell is this?" And it was a cassette that my mom used to record stories for the kids. And she sent it to us one time. So when my mom moved to another province, she would send this to the kids and they would get their goodnight story, push the cassette and hear grandma saying their goodnight story. So, hey, Tina Marie.
You want to know what's funny? I went to a psychic that I had on my show a couple times, Gary McKinstry. He is so good, just so good. But the first time I went to see him personally, I was actually going for my girlfriend. And I walked in the door and he goes, "Oh my God, we got to start with you." And I was like, "Oh, well, actually she went." He goes, "Oh no, you came in with an entourage." So, and it was actually my late husband's entourage, not really even mine. But I had two bright angels he's telling me about, but that's not the point. The point was, he recorded it on
a cassette.
Tape. So I went home, I'm listening to it. Right? And I decided to record while listening to it, just in case there were EVPs, you know. So I recorded with my digital whilst playing the cassette. And there was a lot of EVPs in there. Oh my God. He started talking about, because my late husband, he was like a hunter and stuff, and Gary was talking about that. And he said, "I see him shooting. I see him this. I see him," you know, and I'm like, "Oh yeah." And then you hear as an EVP, like bang, bang in the backgrounds and things like that. I'm like, "Oh my God, so crazy." And then
the actual sound of the bang, or is somebody's voice saying bang, like your husband,
someone saying bang, bang, literally saying bang, bang, you know? And I'm just like, oh my God, because they were talking about target shooting and, you know, and how you would stand behind the thing and shoot. And then he would say bang, bang, you know, like he was shooting at ducks and things like that in a like a course that you would go through. That's what he was talking about. I said, well, Mark didn't really do that too much, but he went hunting all the time. But he like making fun of him, talking about about the thing. So it was funny. But I was actually getting more EVPs on my digital recorder, because then I took the digital and put it on the computer and listened to the whole thing. And as I'm hearing it, because I was listening, you know, to the cassette and recording it. So as I'm listening to it, I'm hearing these things. Then when I played it on the computer through the digital, the new recording, there was more. So there was the people that were in my house were listening, and I got EVPs on that. It was just crazy. It was like the craziest thing ever.
Okay.
I still have that cassette tape.
Tina Marie Ronan would like to know if they can see your necklace.
Absolutely.
She is.
That's my fox.
The peacock.
Yep. I'm because I'm the parafox. So
yeah, she's my Foxy G. You know, she's like, okay, that's always been I think you've always been Foxy G for me.
I know. You're the only one that really calls me that, and I love it.
It's good. If anybody else doesn't like it too bad.
I don't care.
Neither do I. Do I look like I'm worried? No.
Do you ever? No. This is one of the reasons why I love you so.
I love this thing that people say that, do you ever have people who don't like you, and what do you, how do you deal with them? I really have never had anybody who doesn't like me, or if they don't tell me.
Well, I've had people that don't like me. I don't know why.
I
don't know.
It's their loss, because I think you're awesome. Tina Marie says, I've heard that a digital is better device than a recording. Try this one again. Let's see if I can put it up. It'll be a little bit bigger. Right? I've heard that digital is a better device for recording EVPs. I guess instead of the cassette thing. I don't understand how you got.
Cassette is a you got to have a good one. That you can actually have that recording. But the tape itself, is something about it. You know what I mean? You go back to the old timers, and that's how they did it. And
Do you know what I have? And I haven't. It's my husband's, and I can't remember where he got it. It's this giant, humongous reel-to-reel thing.
Oh yeah.
And it's like,
it's probably just a player.
It weighs a freaking ton.
Oh yeah.
And
first investigators used was equipment like that. They didn't have digital recorders and stuff. And you don't need all the fancy schmancy things. You can go out with a compass. And if a compass starts spinning, you know what I mean? You can go out with a pendulum. You can make your own pendulums. You can do, there's many things. There's many divination techniques. You can, candles, scrying. There's so many ways that you can communicate. It's ridiculous. I mean, you go through ancient texts, and there's divination techniques, whether they're throwing marbles on the ground with a piece of rope, what stays in, what stays out, everything makes a bit of difference, where it is.
The chicken bones and the different things. Yeah, there's always.
I mean, there's so many ways to talk to spirits, and you don't need to spend a fortune. You don't.
Sharon says, sorry?
I'm sorry. And your best piece of equipment is yourself. You know? Trust your gut.
That's true. A lot of people have a hard time with that one. Sharon in the chat says, multiple microphone digital recorders are awesome. Really sensitive. Sharon, I've learned, is a computer ninja.
She is. I have a Tascam, and I don't like that either. It's too sensitive. It picks up every little bit of wind, you know what I mean? I put on buffers and everything to put it down. It's great for musicians. That's what it's meant for. That's what it's made for, and that's great. However, for investigating in the paranormal, it's wicked sensitive, and you got to have buffers on the tops, because you have either they're pointing like this on the top, or they're pointing at. Also, either way, you got to put those little muffly, furry-looking things over them to try to keep some of the stuff out. But even the case itself on the thing, you just bump it, and it could sound like an EVP, so you get a ton of false positives with those. If you're going to just put it down, leave it, and be extremely still in a room, or just leaving it in a room, okay, as long as it's not a creepy room,
Tina Marie Ronan says, I love going out investigating old school. Makes for a great investigation.
Oh, me too. It does. Couldn't agree anymore. No. We don't get to do that too much anymore, because we take with ghostly excursions, we take people to haunted locations, and we always have, it could be anywhere from 10, 20, 50 to 100 people, in some of our investigations. So, it's like we're kind of busy running it, as opposed to being able to just investigate. But we'll take people investigating, because we give them a choice. You can investigate with us. You can use our equipment, and we got tons of it. You can use our equipment. We can teach you how to use the equipment, why we use the equipment, blah blah blah. But for us investigating.
But do you ever get a chance just to say not go, like just you and Bob take whatever it is, the basics that you need, and go somewhere, not with all the excursion.
Well, what we do is like when we go to the Knickerbocker, and we have some
I like the
schedule.
beer.
well, this is the hotel and not the beer place. But the Knickerbocker's in the Linesville, I believe. It's in New York, Pennsylvania. I don't know. Bob.
Probably Pennsylvania. That's where the beer comes from.
Okay. So anyway, we go there and we'll go, like, if we have people coming on Saturday, we'll go Friday, and then we'll investigate.
So it's just you guys enjoying it.
Yeah, and that place is haunted as, wow. There's she's got so many artifacts in that room. We've got a Possessed doll that Bob brought called Justine. It looks like a clown doll. Really cool. And that is there, and it recognizes Bob every time he comes, and he has conversations with the domes.
Okay, so that dome, what exactly does the dome do?
It's static.
Okay, Sharon Phillips says Knickerbocker is in New York. Hey.
Okay. All right. Is it New York? Is Lionsville? I thought it was like by Erie. I don't know. But it's like 5 hours away. But I don't know. You have to go to ghostlyexcursions.com and check it out, because we're going to be going there soon. And we only have a few. It's a sleepover thing too, so we get to stay there. And it's a hotel, but it's not really a hotel.
It was a hotel, but it's not used as a hotel now.
Yeah, so just for like us, you know what I mean? Us taking people over, and she makes a nice dinner. We'll have dinner with spirits, so we'll have a place setting for their spirits, so you can investigate while we're eating, in the place, and we'll do a breakfast and such the next day. But every room has a theme in there, which is really neat, because there's like a Abe Lincoln room, there's a war room, there's a doll room, Japanese like based room, a bridal room. There's like all these different themes, and then there's resident ghosts that are there like all the time. There's a woman who's down at the end of the hall, and she comes through every time, and just every place has its residents, but this one is just so many. There's so many in there.
Okay, so people go check out the Knickerbocker Hotel in New York.
Right. And but I'm not sure if it's called. Check it out. It's on our Ghostly Excursions page, and you can see where it is.
Sharon, thank you again. I'm gonna put this up here. Ghostlyexcursions.com. We're gonna hire Sharon.
I know, right? I know, she does this with me too. Well, this is like having you in my chat room when I do my show, because you're always putting up the links. I'm like, oh, thank you, Mama D. Thank you, Mama D. I love it. That's
the thing is for those people who are in the chat room of any show you go to, your host and the guests are always talking. They don't have time to put in the links, even though we'd love to. It just doesn't work. So hey, Cheryl. So if somebody says something like, unfortunately, I'm hooked with Jay Lynch and that crew, is I have all their links on a Post-it note on my desktop, so I just copy and paste whenever they start talking about it. If I know they have a guest coming, I try and do, get a little bit. So if I'm going to be there, I'm going to have, so when they start talking about their guests, I can drop their links into the chat room. So it's helpful. So that's just an FYI. So thank you, Sharon. You are me and I am you.
There you go. You just got a raise, Sharon. You get bumped up a promotion.
She is the unofficial official moderator in the room.
Gonna be rude for a minute.
Okay. Eric in the chat room says Teddy just said there is something where they feed spirits. He's up for. Yeah. Okay. Teddy wants to go to the Knickerbocker Hotel so he can eat. It figures. Teddy is a boy. He wants to eat. Spirit or not, he still wants to eat.
Well, yeah. It's a good price, and it's a good location, and you get a breakfast and dinner. You know what I mean? So.
Okay, Jay, I'm not putting that one up. Jay Lynch says I'm the greatest. Hello. I am the greatest. I'm Muhammad Ali. No kidding.
I'm the greatest.
He's a word. But how did you start? your radio show, because this is one of the things here. Let's go get the other banner.
That
Here we
thing
go.
fell into my lap by meeting Chris George, because it was his show, which is not mine. And I met Chris at Salem Con. I think it was a Salem Con 1. All right, now they're like at the 5.
Okay.
And I met him. I was talking to Victor the Voice Furman. I was talking to him, just, standing around. We're just talking. Someone else standing there. I still can't remember who it is till this day. I try so hard too. I don't know who it was. But Chris comes bombing into the room. Now, if you don't know Chris George or C. George, what he goes,
you need to find this man. He is adorable.
yeah,
Sorry.
He gets these big, wide, crazy eyes, right? So he came running across the room and grabbed the two guys, and his face came like right up to mine. He scared the crap out of me. I was like, whoa. And I backed up. I'm like, who the hell is this guy?
Yeah.
And then he starts talking. And he's got that, Staten Island, Italian accent thing. And I was afraid of him at first. But then I think we went to like dinner and stuff with a bunch of people, after, and he was there, and we started talking. And then we started talking on Messenger. And then, he said, well, I have this radio show called Second Sight, and Victor was his co-host at the time. And I would start watching the show, and, we would start talking about the show and whatnot. And then we started doing a few events together, because me being an investigator and him being a psychic, we did CEE and GEE Productions.
Yeah.
We'd do events at people's homes. So I would go in, I would teach Paranormal 101, which is, like about the equipment. I might do some, EVP things there, play them, or ghost boxes. At the time I had just the SB7s, because they wasn't with Bob then. And, so we did that. And then he dropped Victor Furman. He had River Wildfire Moon as his co-host.
Yes.
Yeah, she's great. But then she couldn't do it anymore. She's got family. She's, it was just too much on her. And so he asked me to be his co-host. So then we were doing our events, and then we were doing para parties. We were doing the home events. We were doing some.
I remember some of the things he used to do with him, and it was Superman shorts.
Oh God, yeah, that's the para parties. Oh my God, we would have different themes. So we had we had gangster. A gangster. You'd be gangster or a flapper. So that was the first one. And then we had oh my God, we 80s. We had like a medieval one. I mean, we had so much fun, so whatever the theme was, that was the party. So, and we wanted it to be just paranormal community getting together to socialize, not, to have a party. And then we would, so we'd rent the hall and we'd dance and we'd do games and, stuff like that, food. And then at night we rented a floor on whatever hotel we were in. So we rent the whole floor, everyone stay in the floor, and then the party continued, and it was just kind of crazy. And, so it was like a PJ after party, and I say wear appropriate PJs. It wasn't anything funky.
So what? George couldn't come in a baby doll?
No, he tried. Well, he would get his funky shorts, and his crazy things that he'd go swimming in, because he'd go swimming. I'd be checking people in all day. He'd be, I was working all the time, and he was out playing, So, but he'd go swimming in his Superman shorts or whatever, in his cape. He'd go jumping into the water. Oh my God, he's such a nut. He's such a nut. He's so much fun, but he's fun like that personally when you have, when you're just hanging out and whatnot. But when he's being psychic, Chris George, it's a complete and total different animal. And then he's 100% on to that. And he's so good.
And that's what some people don't get. Like you and I were sitting here having a good time, we're having a laugh, but you are a serious investigator. I know George, he's adorable. You call him Pookie, and I call him Mr. Adorable. But people don't get it. Is what you do? Okay, sorry. Sharon says, sorry. Knickerbocker is in Linsville, Pennsylvania.
Linesville, PA. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Linesville, duh. is people have a life outside of what they show off. You know, what you do for your shows, what you have a personal life. And your personal life, you could be a cranky old curmudgeon, you know, or you could be, you know, like George. Chris is like, no,
This is just fun, like,
yes,
99% of the time, you know. Very rarely do you see him mad, you know. Very,
I
very.
think I saw him mad once on a Facebook Live about something.
Oh,
It's not a pretty sight.
no,
I don't want to. You don't want to be on the receiving end of that angry person. No.
Oh, you don't want to be a fake psychic. I'll tell you that. And if he catches wind of a fake psychic, oh, there is nothing that pisses him off any more than that, because he will ream you up and down. You'll be up on that top of that flagpole for all to see. And
I'm gonna have to get him on the show and have a conversation about that.
Oh my God. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That'll get him going. He's gonna be on. He's gonna be on with me May 28th. I finally got him, you know, down to a date.
Fine.
Yeah, I know. I told him he can come on and co-host with me anytime. But oh yeah, so we were talking about that. How I ended up getting the show. Because what we did, like, we were trying to do so many other things. Like we were doing sizzle reels left and right. We had signed with a agent to do a show, you know, based around his psychic things, and we were gonna do paranormal investigations, but he was like the main psychic. But the woman ended up getting a divorce. It's like all these things every time we sign these things, right? But the woman ended up, she was going through a divorce, so the things just didn't work out. Oh,
he likes to be on camera. He just sits there and comes to me and just like, okay, so I'll just.
Lacey.
Yeah, this is an animal friendly show. Hey, Rose.
Lacey. Come here, Lace. She's sleeping. She's in there. I think she's watching Star Wars.
Yoda.
Yeah, Yoda. She's watching Yoda. Lace. Lacey. Lace. Come here. Come here. Bob says she doesn't come because she doesn't understand the word here. Because he says, come here. Here. And she comes right away. Lacey, come here.
If she comes now, we're going to flip.
She's not coming.
Because Bob will never let you live down. You see, I told ya.
I know. Nah. I said she's a Massachusetts dog. She was there because she was here.
I'm not going to tread lightly on that one.
So anyway, so the things that were going on with me and Chris, so our thing that we signed, we couldn't do anything else for a whole year because we were under contract with her, which ended up not working out because she ended up not doing anything for us because she was a mess herself, So we did that, but we were trying to do some other things. And then in the meantime, his psychic readings went through the roof. So he was doing them so much every day that he just couldn't take the time to do the show. And everything that goes.
Because it does take a lot. A lot of people don't realize it does take a lot of energy to do that. And as much as fun as we're having, when we set up for shows, we have to do it. Search up the guests, get the information. I suck at getting all the information up until the last minute, but luckily, I'm really got some good friends who come on and help me out.
Oh yeah, I got behind. I don't know if you can see any of these things behind me. I got shows. I have to read a book a week, if not two.
I just read a book, and I swear to goodness gracious, this young man is like, here, look at it, The Crone from James Smith. And I'll read books, but it takes me forever to read them because I'm one of those people who like 3 sentences and fall asleep.
Yeah,
but this one had me.
This is going to be my show this week, and it's Pastor Bill Jenkins. And it's not that big, so I'll read it tomorrow, like, okay. But it's just, it's about 2020, and the numbers 2020, how they relate in the Bible, and, what's going to be expected for our spiritual forecast for like this year. And so, it's an easy read, but he's an interesting guest, So.
Okay, so everybody check in with, if you're not friends with Gina, hit her up, become friends with her, and follow her show. It's on Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it's really good. And she'll be doing it with StreamYard. just prepare your guests. Tell them, even the guys, hair and makeup dudes.
Hair and makeup. If they want to do it that way. Otherwise, you're going to see just me again. If
That's
a lot
fine.
of them just want to do just audio, so we'll go live because I go live every Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be me or me and my guests. This way, thanks to Mama D.
Yay! Well, I think this is the thing. Like everything else, I think this is part of what we do is we need to share so that everybody can get out there and not do the same thing, but have the same advantages.
Yeah.
Because I mean, we used to do Facebook Lives, and Facebook used to have that little picture of somebody else up here, and then Facebook for some reason stopped allowing you to invite people onto your lives. I have no idea why. Facebook went through a refit. So a group that I belong to, 1 Million Meditators, they were talking about this because they actually had 6 people on, because you can do this with 6 guests.
Wow.
And they were like, they shared it.
Yeah, we don't want the paid version.
Yeah. No, I can do it, the unpaid version with 6 people.
Oh, really?
It's just my internet is not strong enough.
Oh,
you probably have to be hardwired and all that stuff and whatever. But even my internet still sucks on normal days. So, but, and I think, as soon as I found out about it, it's like, oh no, got to share this. I figured it out for myself. I just sort of played with the bells and the whistles and saw how it works. And I think everybody who does Facebook Lives, who wants a little bit more way to go, to have guests and be able to do it without, worrying. This is it.
Yeah.
So anybody who's watching, do it. StreamYard.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it took some doing. I'm not, I use my paranormal equipment. I know I understand that, but this is different. This is computer stuff. And like I was talking to Bob this morning because I couldn't get my printer to work. Now, that touchscreen that I was showing you the other day that we were playing with, and she's like, oh, that's a great touchscreen. Well, I have my printer plugged into it, and I'm trying to print a piece of paper and it wouldn't print. It kept saying my printer's offline. I'm like yelling at the thing going, it's not. I'm yelling at the computer. He's in the other room working again. He comes down. He's like, let me do it. I'm like, don't mess anything up. He's the computer savvy person. Yeah, okay. Don't mess anything up. And then I just shut the thing down, turned it back on, went to my control panel, found the thing, and it worked it out and got it to print, and everything was fine. But we were talking later on downstairs in the kitchen, and he goes, when you work with computers, what's the most important thing to do? I'm like, kick it out the window? And he goes, no. I'm like, smash it with a sledgehammer. He's like, no. He's just the same as you. Patience. Breathe.
First thing to do for you when you're having issues, the first thing to do, Bob, get in here and fix this.
Exactly.
But you got to kind of, it's like everything else in life. You have to try it out slowly and don't stress. And now that you've got it.
Yeah, I think I gotta remember to do the public button so I can see.
Yeah, so you can see the comments.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, you can't answer the comments, but you can still do the comments. And I think this is a great way for us, everybody, to get to know each other and to get to. Sharon says, "Smash it." Hello. Been there, done that.
Yeah.
But we're gonna wait till you send us our new computers before we.
Then we'll smash the other ones. That will be a show.
So
we'll do that this
live on there. That's for sure. Like, Eric Glenn says, "Oh, this is a good one here. Let's see. Farts. First, always read the screen."
Well, yeah.
If the screen's not saying anything, then what do we do? Yeah.
Well, there's instructions, and it'll be like, oh, follow this link to that link to that link to that link, and then it's like by the time you get down to the end, I forget what the first thing was. It's
like, how many windows do I have to have open?
But then if my printer won't work, I can't print it out, so I can go back while I'm at the next link to say, well, what was it I was supposed to do at the beginning? I don't know. I got craft.
Roanna Ray says, I threatened to throw it out the window.
Yes. Sometimes you threaten it and all of a sudden it works.
Exactly. Now, Roanna Ray is another interesting lady. She has 101 Cafe, which is a building. She was on my show a couple of weeks ago. She has, was it last weekend? I forget. I really did see it sometimes. She has she became the guardian of a building that has a cafe in the main floor. It's an actually working cafe, and she has different rooms. There's a speakeasy that was down in the basement, and people go there and have investigations. They rent it out for the weekend or whatever. And I'll send you the link to the cafe. And when you said that the woman from the hotel has a doll room, she has one. It's called Misfit Manor. She's got toys. She's got, somebody had sent her the cut up, remember the old paper dolls that we used to cut up and little tabs? She's got that in a thing, and she's got I believe a haunted bed. No one's allowed to sit on it. She's got dolls that people have given up for some reason or another, but they think they're haunted or they're missing an appendage. They all go in this room, and I'll send you the link for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where we try to take people, to places like that,
Yeah. And the thing is, this again is something that we need to share. This is a place that you didn't know about, so it's time to share. Sharing people. Okay.
Sharing is caring.
Karen says, my husband took 3 hours working on an issue while I was napping. I got up and took 10 minutes to fix it.
Of course. Well, that's me. I said that to Bob. I said, I've been working on this thing for like hours. You'd probably be able to do it in 2 minutes. And lo and behold, 2 minutes later. Oh.
There you go. Okay, Bob.
Show offs.
Karen.
I just want to use technology. I don't have to understand exactly how everything works.
Karen up and make her do that link thing so she could fix her computer from where she is, so she could do that. Like there.
Yeah, remote fixing.
Remote fixing. There we go.
Like remote fixing.
Exactly. So of all the different types, because you have a lot of different types of guests.
I do.
What are of all the guests, what's the most interesting type of guest to have? Aside from somebody who talks.
I like having the psychics on, either numerologists or psychics, so that, people can get readings. Some people that can't afford to go get readings, you can get little mini free readings, and then you can see how these people are and how they work, like I've done that. Michelle Arbeau and Gary McKinstry are like two of the best. I got Corby Mitlead coming on. I got Dean McMurray, who is, he's a military psychic. This is the first military person. He's coming on, I think, in 2 weeks.
I had a cop.
Oh, cool. Well, there's a lot of them. Yeah, there's a lot of those.
Yeah.
You don't want to piss one of them off.
I piss off cops anyway. It's fun. Because I'm so cute, they won't do shit.
Yeah. That doesn't work for me.
If you piss off somebody, say, go see Mama D. She'll fix it up.
Yeah, I know. It's the voice. The voice. Never say I have a sweet little voice. I don't have a sweet voice. I'm a asshole. What do you want? I'm from Massachusetts. I have a rough voice. Doesn't mean I'm a rough soul. I just have a rough the way we talk.
I don't think your voice is rough. The thing is, our voices can be when it's necessary, and if y'all don't like it, tough.
Yep.
We're being nice. We're being polite.
Love me, hate me. I don't care.
So out of all because Rowana Ray in the rooms, she says numerology is interesting. So of numerologist, do you have one that like you would love to sit down with and say, okay, explain this to me and tell me about it? Like
I do. I actually, Michelle Arbeau. She's a celebrity numerologist. She's very famous. She's been on TV. She runs a TV place that other people can.
I think she's a friend on Facebook.
Yeah. I believe you are friends with her. I think we tried to hook you up with her before too. She's awesome. She's on the other coast. She's in California. But she is phenomenal. And I actually bought her system to become a numerologist. I just haven't had time to do it. It's like courses. So you do the course, you do the course, you have to do with people, you know what I mean? You're trained, everything. But I just haven't had time to do it. But she would explain things. She's a talker. We can talk, and she's fun, and she's like the female version of Chris George, but she is so spot on. It's scary how spot on she is with these readings, and I always wanted to understand how someone's birthday. You just speed their freaking life and where they've been, where they're going, what's going to be happening, what they're going through, and people can have the same birthday and it means a different thing for each one. You know what I mean? You have the same base thing, but where it goes from
in the chat room, Sharon says, question for Gina. Are you going to bring back Matt Penner, numerology? Because Blog Talk wasn't working that night. He's doing Reiki healings now. Love Reiki. Hello.
Yeah, me too. I'll have Matt back on. I like Matt. Matt was at Penhurst too with us, and when we did the Penhurst Paracon, he was. I met him there. I talked to him, but I met him in person for the first time there, and I like Matt's he's a cool dude.
Okay, so just warn Matt to say this woman's going to call you because her name is Mama too.
Yeah, Matt Penner and what the heck does he call his show? Matt Penner. Intuitive numerology readings and something. I think he does a show. He does a show before my show on Thursdays. He goes like 7 to 8. I think he's live.
Okay.
So you can treat him Penner. Yeah, he's a cool dude. I like him. He's down to earth,
And that's what I like. So far, I've been so very lucky. Have you had any guests or people who say, I want to be on your show, but I actually had somebody send me how to introduce them on my show, and I was like, yeah, sure, not problem. No, didn't use it. Try it. I can't. I'm sorry. That's not the kind of girl I am. I cannot sit there and go, okay, so-and-so did something. I just sort of,
I know. I read their bios. I get big bios. I read their bios and stuff. I'm on like, 2 hours, and I have a lot of questions to ask these people, But, I go through a lot of publishers that, put out their clients. And I just got inundated with so many email requests to be on the show. It's crazy. So I'm like reviewing, and setting up dates. Now I'm like booking May, June, and out.
Yeah.
Oh, from there. No, June. May is filled. June. Yeah, June and out now. And pretty soon it's like the year's gonna be full.
Yeah. It's funny what I like when I couple of people when I would message them and say, hey, I'd like, I just have this little show, it's nothing major, but I'm interested in having you on. Would you like to, share your message with well, how many viewers do you have? Dude, at the time, I did not know how many viewers I had. I had we'll say half a dozen people in the chat room, but to me, I get a lot more in the after show, in the archives. People listen in the archives. So I said, I don't know. I said, I think my chat room holds up to 20 people, but
Yeah. Well, on Blog Talk on thing, because we had to know those numbers when me and Chris did when we were doing their sizzle stuff, and they said that the show was pegged every week and it goes up to 800,000. So that's like going out between iHeart and there's another thing out there. Jen something. I don't even know. I don't even know where my show goes. I get on, I do the show, and but they said the board's pegged every time the show comes on, so that's pretty cool. But I mean, Facebook is one thing. That's that's our friends that are watching, and even though it says live public, it doesn't really go to the public because Facebook does the thing that it's the people that interact with you, and those are the ones that kind of see your feed, unless those people share it. So that's why we're always saying share the video. So it will get out to other groups, and then you get a larger audience. Yeah. So, I mean, that's just the social media thing. But the more, like you have your show, like you were saying, you stream to a lot of different places, and
I've learned how to. It's all in the after show, and I just sort of download everything onto my laptop, and then I put it to an MP3, so the audio goes to one place, and that place, Anchor FM, shares it with 5 or 8 different platforms. And it's just that's what they do. I'll put my stuff there. You guys do what you do. And I don't know if I have any more listeners because I can't see it.
You have a hell of a lot more than you realize. you know.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I can't see it, but it doesn't tell you, like how many people has listened on on Spreaker and Apple, whatever.
Yeah, the iTunes and the this and the that. Like I don't know what, who how they're listening, but they are.
Yeah.
So good,
Yeah.
that's good.
And
But
I do
I
this because I enjoy doing it.
for the
Yeah.
Facebook because we
Yeah.
can see, you know what I mean? So I try to cater more to that. So sometimes it's not really good for like the archive for a radio show, because I'm showing the book. I'm like, oh, and then this is the book. And, so when you listen to the radio and you hear someone saying, well, this is the
Yeah.
book, and,
Exactly. And but that's why sometimes when I'll post up a question, I will read the question out loud because those people who
are just listening.
Exactly.
Yeah. So like in my show too, you can call in the number and just sit and listen that way. So you don't have to log on. You don't have to be on the computer. You can just call the phone and it's toll free and you can listen, So
Toll free? Blog Talk?
Yeah.
We'll talk.
I know. Yeah, you could even Skype in us to listen too. So
Yeah.
ways, but there's a couple different numbers
But there are some. Oh, I thank you, Sharon. I got Sharon now. But the thing is, for me, when I do the interviews with people, I can't even say I do an interview with people because what you do is an interview. Because you will have a question, you will do, but there are some people that I do actually do interviews with, but most of them, it's sitting down having a conversation. For me, like if somebody wants to book you for an excursion, they'd like to know that the person they're booking with, like I said, the person you're booking with, they see one face. And behind the camera, is there somebody else? Like, yes, like I said, you said some people don't like you. Well, on them, as far as I'm concerned. But I like you. And if you weren't a likable person, you wouldn't be on my show. No kidding. I don't know anybody I don't like. There are a few people who think they're big, superstars. I'm going to have them come on my shows and really think they're superstars.
Yeah.
What is the green blob over your head?
Superstars. Yeah, that's my equipment's going off behind me. I'm going to shut off my thingies.
There we go.
They're going to start going off.
The bells and whistles. They were like, oh no, Eric's in the house. Yeah. But I think this is important, whether it's one show or every show that's out there, isn't important for people to support because you get to know people behind it, like, psychics, numerologists. A lot of people just go, well, I don't know. But if they hear them on a show, people get a feeling, okay, I like this person. I didn't like that one so much, with little, because like some people can explain things that are on this level, they're on my level, they're on down to earth. Then you have these really good ones, but they explain when they're all the way up here, and I don't.
You don't get it.
Bring me down to earth, people. One and one, two. I don't want to have to go all the way around here to figure it out.
Yeah, you got to come down here for me. Otherwise, I'll sit there and be like. Yeah. Then I'll be putting with my thumbs and playing with my little fox toys that I always have. Or something. All right, I don't understand.
I will pick up Onyx even if he doesn't want to and go, okay, come on, let's pet the dog.
Sometimes I can show up real early. I'll be like, oh my God, there's an emergency.
Oops, thank you for
the Bob, it's an emergency.
Bob. It's like those fake dates that you want to get out of. Message your friend, call me when it's done. Call me now, text me now. I want to get out of here. No.
It happens. It does. It happens. Like, oh my God. I just told you that I had a ton of emails, right? Inundated, just so many all of a sudden. It's like a new post went up or something on the site, with the publisher. So then you have all these people that answer it. There's one guy that I really don't want to have back on. And I keep saying, well, let me get back to you. Well, let me get back to you because, I need to review everything. And, it's taken me some time because it's a lot to read and it's a lot to schedule,
Yeah.
I'll get to you. Well, he writes a book on being a manly man. And he's so not a manly man. he's got the little bow tie, and he talks funny, and I'm just like, oh my God, Chris ate him alive.
Oh,
Long ago, I had him when he was on the show, and he wanted to be back on. I'm just like, wow, really?
send them to me.
Yeah, okay, I will. I'll give you the info. I can share all my links with you.
Oh, sorry, Onyx. Dog moved underneath the desk, and I stepped on his paw. I was like, whoa, Mom.
And she's got to be sleeping. She'll be out cold over there.
Well, you had something that popped up on your picture.
What?
That, I don't know if you can see this. Sharon saw a green blob.
Oh, that's probably because my things were going off next to me. I can't really. You'll have to send me a picture later. I'll look at it after this show. But it's probably because the equipment was going off, or the dome. Because the dome this has different colors. See, there's green, right, and over here. So this might have gone off.
Okay, I like that dome thing.
Yeah, Bob 3D prints these and makes all these. So it says Vortex
3D prints them? Hello,
yeah, we have two 3D printers going on down the basement. So, you turn it on, takes one 9-volt battery, and you turn it on, and this light's always lit.
Okay.
But these go around. Now, they're designed to go around in a circle. And this is a static meter, right? Static makes us. If you're in a haunted location and all of a sudden just one light goes on, because the program, how it's programmed, is go around, complete the circle, go around, complete the circuit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When a spirit interacts with it, it can have one light, two lights, you know what I mean? Or you can say, all right, go to the next one, and then it will walk you around slowly and go around and light each individual light. It's really cool. And we can set them up going down a long hallway. We usually set up a bunch of them so you can see if a spirit's coming down the hallway, it'll go boom, 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 then walking down the hallway, and each one will go up. Yeah. Well, it is. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. We like our equipment. We use it the proper way for the.
Exactly. You guys build it so it's not, if you get something from somewhere else, I'm sure Bob would be like, here, let me take this apart and see how it works,
He does.
Oh, there you go. Because when I've noticed that people, when they build things, they want to find out. If somebody says, "Oh, I have this and it works. Here, it's yours." They'd be like, "Really? Let me see how it works. I want to see what makes your brain tick." So they'll put it back together, maybe. But
a couple screws might be extra. They throw them.
What was this screw for? Okay, let's not go to IKEA with Bob.
I don't know. There's a bin. Just throw it in the bin.
There you go. Well, we are 6:03, so we're over time. But
sorry,
I'm pretty I'm my own boss. I don't care.
Okay.
But reverse engineering, Sharon calls it. Yeah, that's what it's called. Reverse engineering. Take it apart.
Some things will pull apart. But
this
is fun.
This is. I enjoy doing this with you. I love having a chat with you, even if the silly ones like yesterday, which I'll make things work.
It was so much fun.
Everybody go over to Gina's page. She did the first live with Bob, and she did the first live with Bob, and he kept dropping his camera so we could only see the ceiling. Then she did one with me. Did you leave them up there?
I did.
Good, because they were funny.
Yeah, I did. They're up. So go to my page. You can see them. The ones with me and Mama D teaching me and getting it right, and the one with me and Bob getting it completely wrong. It was so strange because it kept on doing a loop. Like I would talk, and I would say, "All right, am I live?" And then I'd be waiting.
And you hear it. Yeah, the 10-second delay. We figured it out. It's about a 10 to 12-second delay. But that was the thing.
Yeah, they had it on the computer. I had the sound on the computer, on the speakers, and on the phone, and on whatever. It's like or Facebook. Or, I don't know. I screwed it up really bad.
Well, hey, you got it down now. You're okay. But it's fun.
Yeah.
This is what this is all about. So, well, I'm going to say goodnight. I'm going to say thank you, everybody, for hanging in there and listening. Next week, I have, hold on a second, Marissa Ferreira. She is a coach, an amazing lady. So join in with me then. This Wednesday, getting over the hump with George. If George's boss doesn't have him working late again and people don't start breaking into the mailboxes, he will be here, there, wherever.
It's a fun show. That's a fun show.
It is. It makes people smile, and that's all it's about. And Gina is on Thursday nights from 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on DMT Wicked Radio. Blog Talk.
DTM Wicked Radio.
I can't read that right. Excuse me.
Show this week.
2020. So be there. Oh, my kicky butt.
Be there. Gina B, the place to be. Pete Fox, the paranormal princess.
Oxygen. There you go. All right, everybody. Have a good night, and I'll see you all next week.
Ciao, ciao. Bye.